So I finished the book, The God of the Woods. It's a book that I found actually through TikTok that follows the disappearance of a young girl in the 70s at a summer camp that mirrors her older brother's disappearance years earlier. And I have thoughts on it. So I said in my last video that this book was very police procedural, and I was kind of worried because of that, because that's not really something I lean towards, but actually I was pleasantly surprised to find that it really didn't bother me, so that was cool. I do feel the book got a little slow in the middle, but it did manage to pick itself back up again. I honestly just really wasn't very interested in hearing the mom's backstory. It was very much like rich people problems, and I understand why we needed her backstory, but I just wasn't the most into it. And the part of the book that I actually really enjoyed, though, was when we were reading Tracy's chapters. I thought those were enjoyable mainly because they were so relatable. I personally related really heavily to this girl that was not very well liked and is deemed unattractive, and she's yearning for this boy who likes someone else. I think that's like the universal 12-year-old experience to have. I found the ending itself to be a little bit lukewarm and pretty predictable too. The book does this thing where it kind of leads you one way but then goes another, but it's kind of easy to see through it. I also really didn't like that the ending was so neatly wrapped up. I just kind of was like, I want a little bit more mess than what I got. I am going to include a spoiler here, so spoiler, click off if you do not want to know how the book ends. Okay, now I'm going to tell you. But I just found that the ending was a little meh. Barbara goes and is going to live off of the land on this little island where TJ will occasionally help her. I'm sorry, but I just found it really, not practical and unrealistic, and a little bit of a cop-out. Now, I understand that someone could, in theory, do that, but she's still a child, even though they say she's beyond her years, and that TJ's gonna come help her occasionally, and I just felt like it doesn't hold up. I know that she spent her life around the woods, but even she isn't TJ, one of the only characters in the book who could realistically do something like that. Ending aside, I did enjoy the book. It definitely surprised me because I was under the impression that this was going to be something spooky and supernatural, which is my own fault because I didn't look much into the book before I picked it up. And I was pleasantly surprised that I ended up liking it. I like when things like this kind of happen because I always like to have a chance to kind of expand my palette a bit. So it wasn't the worst thing I've ever read, but I liked it. Was it life-changing? No. But I liked that I kind of got out of my comfort zone.